Good day, guys. I'm well pleased for the good opportunity that the Lord has granted me to share His word to His people He called royals, people He called special. I'm honored because this is a blessing, and thanks a bunch to you for your support. I do appreciate it, and I want to show my gratitude. By the grace of God, I shared the first phase of the Book of Obadiah some few days ago. Please, if you've not had the opportunity to watch that video, kindly do so. I'll put the link in the description box so that you don't miss anything about this book. Today's video is about the second phase of the book. Now, the first phase of the Book of Obadiah was from verse 1 to verse 14, which talked about God's judgment on Edom. Right from there, the topic suddenly shifts in verse 15, saying the day of the Lord is near for all nations. Initially, it was talking about God judging Edom in verse 1, in phase 1. But in the second phase, that is from verse 16 to verse 21, is saying not only will God judge Edom, but He will judge all nations, in quotes, all prideful nations. All nations who act like Edom will receive the justice of God in His day to come. He will bring them down from their prideful heights, and they'll come to ruin. Who are these nations? They are you and I. It was at this point of my studies that by the grace of God I had a revelation concerning the Book of Obadiah, specifically the second phase of this book. I've been longing to do this video for months now, but I don't know why I couldn't. I thank God it's here now. This is not something I heard from somewhere or something I read. This is something the Lord gave me, and I'm here to share it with you. Please, let's listen to this. The world was in its normal state. Men were performing their usual routines. People rushing to go out just to make ends meet, and others in a hurry to come home just to feed on what they had. Everything and everyone was okay. It was just a normal day. I happened to find myself in a church gathering with the saints. Out of the blue, the building roof disappeared, and the sun began to go down and melt simultaneously. Within a flash, darkness filled the entire earth. The sudden change terrified everybody, both the saved and unsaved, the young and the old. Out of fear, men began to run and hide at any hiding place that came to mind. At the church where I was, Christians began to exclaim. Pastors, leaders, and members of the church were all running to hide themselves under chairs and tables, but there was no hiding place for anyone. At once, we all heard a loud, thunderous voice, deep and full, saying, "The day of the Lord."
Zephaniah chapter 1 verses 14 to 18. The great day of Adonai is near and coming very quickly. The sound of the day of Adonai is bitter. The shouting of the warrior is there. That day is a day of wrath, a day of trouble and distress, a day of devastating storm and desolation, a day of darkness and gloom, a day of clouds and thick darkness, a day of shofar and alarm against the fortified cities and against the high corner towers. I will bring such distress upon mankind that they will walk like the blind, for they have sinned against Adonai. Their blood will be poured out like dust, and their flesh like dung. Neither their silver nor their gold will be able to rescue them on the day of Adonai's wrath. With the fire of his passion, the entire earth will be consumed. For he will make a total dreadful annihilation of all the inhabitants of the earth.
I know you've been hearing this over and over, and it sounds old and boring to you. Likewise. But it wasn't old to me after the revelation. To be honest with you, fear was like ropes wrapped around me. Not because of anything, but I pitied my own life, wondering if I could actually make it, if his day is to come now. This is not to put fear in you, no. But this is a silent reminder alarming us all that Obadiah 1:15, the day of the Lord, is still yet to happen. How well are we prepared for that day? You don't want to taste the wrath of God, do you? I'm not sure. So position yourself rightly and wait for him. I always say this, if he doesn't come meet you here on earth, you will go meet him there. I'll end here. Thanks for watching. See you in my next video. I love you and bye-bye.